What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Daniel Craig's last final Bond film, No Time to Die. No Time to Die has been in release date hell, being the first one to get delayed due to the pandemic, and it's finally being released only in theaters this weekend. No Time to Die is directed by Cary Fukunaga and tells the story of a retired James Bond loving life with Madeline, but his short-lived retirement comes to an end when Felix, an old friend, him for help, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with a few new dangerous technology. Time to Die is one of the films that I have been looking forward to because I love Daniel Craig as Bond from the short times that I've seen him. This is Daniel Craig's swan song, so there is a little bit of a bittersweet ending to this film because not only is this series one of the most divisive series in my lifetime, but it's also one of those films that I grew up not watching. Daniel Craig was Bond in 2005, and I believe, in 5th grade at the time. At the time, I did not know who Daniel Craig was, and I only knew James Bond from the GoldenEye video game. So him as Bond within the last 15 years is really bittersweet to see go, because I believe this is the only time where I've seen a character where an actor has played a character for a long period of time while I'm still here and able to remember. I was not invested in the X-Men series until X-Men 3 The Last Stand, because that's the only X-Men film that I remember being released. And so this is a bittersweet for me because seeing how far James Bond has come with the Daniel Craig era, it really is a bittersweet to see him go, and at least we get to see him say goodbye. Even though this was not one of my favorite Bond films, I've only seen two from beginning to end, that being Skyfall and this new one, No Time to Die. I walked out of the last one, Spectre, really boring, and I did not want to waste my time in there, and I just couldn't get into that film, and me and my mom decided to just walk out of that film. I've never gone back to go ahead and rewatch it. I saw a little bit of Casino Royale. Didn't really capture me as much as I wanted to, but there's one thing that has always been consistent with this Bond series is the theme songs, and I've loved every single theme song that I've heard. But there's something that has been divisive with a lot of people, and that's the story of the film. Some people consider Casino Royale the best one. I consider it Skyfall because that's the only one that I've actually seen from beginning to end, and I actually do love that one. But this film was kind of a mixed bag. It took what Spectre did wrong, and it did what Skyfall did right. Because those are the only two that I'm going to be focusing on, because those are the only two that I've actually seen, one from beginning to end, one halfway through, and the parts that didn't jive with me very well throughout this film was the story of the film. I could not get invested in the story enough. I do think Daniel Craig is a great James Bond, and he does have some great chemistry with Lea Seydoux. There's some characters in the film that don't get a lot of screen time, such as Ana de Armas, which I wish could have been in the film a lot more, because she kicked so much ass that I wanted to see her more throughout the film, and I wanted to see her character progress throughout the film. Ralph Fiennes, the new M, is great. Ben Whishaw, every time that I hear Ben Whishaw, I just want more Paddington films, because I think his voice is great, and I think he carries the film good enough for the parts that he's in, even though he doesn't have, I think he has more of a presence in this film than he has ever had. The action sequences in the film are actually really good, and those are the most investing parts of the film. But most of the things that didn't vibe with me very well were the story beats throughout the whole film. I thought, as brilliant as Rami Malek was in the film, he doesn't get a lot of screen time in the film because he's mostly the villain in the shadows, and he doesn't really come out that much. He really doesn't have that big of a presence, and I wish we could have seen a little bit more, because it was halfway through the film when I realized that we hadn't had Rami Malek in the film, and I think it was about an hour into the film when he actually shows up, and then he disappears, and we follow James Bond with Madeline I wish we could have gotten a little bit more of Ana de Armas. I wish we could have gotten a little more of Jeremy Wright, more of the villain aspect of the film, because that's something that was really missing from this film. I could not get into the story. I could not get into the villain's plot. I could not get invested heavily. But if you were wanting a James Bond film that made up for what Spectre did wrong, I think you're going to be mostly happy with this film, because this film really does have the action sequences that you want. It is a bittersweet ending for those people that have been with Daniel Craig from Casino Royale all the way to No Time to Die, and this is a long film awaiting. So if you were really invested in the Daniel Craig era and you really wanted to see him go off on a high note, I think this is going to be the film for you. Unfortunately, it was not for me. I think the runtime was something that was a contributor to the film, because it is about 2 hours and 43 minutes long. This is a really long film, and in order for me to get invested in a runtime such as like that, you gotta get me hooked into the adventure a lot more. But unfortunately, this was a disappointing film for me, but you might like it more than I did. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give No Time to Die a 6.5 out of 10. I think there are some great action beats in the film. I think there are a lot of things that some people could have fun with the film. Unfortunately, I could not have a lot of fun with the film, and I wish it could have been a little bit more. But if you were invested in this whole Daniel Craig era, go ahead and check this out, because I think this is going to be the swan song that you want, and you actually get to say goodbye to him, because unfortunately this is the last time we're going to be able to see Daniel Craig as Bond, and this has been a mixed bag for a lot of people. I know a lot of people love Casino Royale and Skyfall, and a lot of people don't like Quantum of Solace and Spectre. But overall, what did you guys think of No Time to Die? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Go ahead and let me know what you think of the film down below in the comments. And until next time, this is Josie Reviews.